March 2020. I was sitting in lockdown in Barcelona, but not the lockdown you're thinking of. I was literally locked down in my apartment for 6 weeks. Spain was different, and in the beginning it was fun. I was sitting in front of my computer, working all day from the kitchen table, doing some sports in between, and then watching some German TV with a glass of wine in the evening. But at some point it wasn't fun anymore. All the redundancies and doing the same structure of the day and day again, so I thought about exchanging with other people. I was more and more video conferencing with 2 guys I met at a bar in Munich some weeks before, and we talked about what's currently happening and how the pandemic is impacting our lives. Still sitting in lockdown in Barcelona, we were creating online events and bringing other people together to exchange what is currently happening. We realized that there is a big demand of bringing analog events into the digital sphere. So after some time, we had to realize, what are we doing with this idea that we're having and what we're creating, and how can we do it as a legal entity? So the first time we actually met in person was at the notary, because we had to sign our first contracts. Until then, we did everything online. So we had online calls, being creative with different tools, and just engaging with the possibilities that we had. Nowadays, I'm still working hybrid, actually here at the University of Twente, and I'm still taking advantage of the different possibilities that exist. Although not fully remote, I can still balance my opportunities. So I'm going to the yoga class in the morning, sometimes do my laundry during the lunch break, and leave earlier if I have some things to do from home. If this is how it's supposed to be, I don't really know, but it feels right for me. I can be flexible, I can be productive working from home, but then I can also see my colleagues in the office and have some social interaction. I know that also my colleagues are doing it like this, so there are some days in the office, sometimes working flexibly from the train, but we still know we can do our job, and that's what we want to do. I have always been fascinated how technology is impacting our lives and the work that we're doing. So sometimes I'm still sitting in front of the computer and wonder, how is work life going to be in 10 years? Because work used to be a very straightforward affair. You would clock in the morning, sit in front of your computer, and then clock out in the afternoon. But then the pandemic hit, and also the younger generations asked for more flexibility, for impact and purpose, so organizations have to respond. So then everyone was forced working from home. Now the organizations have to see, how can we balance this? And I believe the future of work is hybrid. Because there are a lot of advantages, and I have been recently talking with some HR officers, and they told me that they were giving a lot of different tools to their employees. So actually in this company, everyone is having a VR glasses that they can put on. Everyone is creating their individual avatar, and then they just meet in the online sphere. So it doesn't matter if you're working from home or if you're in the office, everyone is meeting in this digital location, but it's still feeling like they're physically in the same place. This is giving them a lot of opportunities, so they can put Post-its at the wall, they can engage, they can have some little chit-chats, they can even meet at the coffee machine, still digitally, feeling that they're close to each other. There are a lot of opportunities hybrid workplaces are having for the future, and we now have the power to navigate through those opportunities and find what works best for you. I don't think that there's the one perfect solution, but everyone deserves the right to figure this out, and we now have the power to see what opportunities exist and how we can leverage them. Also for companies, there are more and more opportunities because they now have access to a wider range of people they can work with, so a wider diversity across the company, inclusion and innovation, which is highly beneficial for the organizational performance. Moreover, there are a lot of opportunities for us as people because we can, as we heard before, flexibly sit with a pajama in front of our work as long as we're doing what we love and be productive, have the right output of our work. But then there are also downsides of working hybridly, and I have heard them from different companies before. So sometimes, I even know it myself actually, so sometimes the little daughter of my colleague is running in the background when we're having a video call, and I think it's funny personally, but my colleague doesn't like it. So she prefers going to the office to have the in-person interaction, but also having her calls there, because she really wants to separate between work and life. Again, what works best for me isn't what works best for you or works best for my colleague. But the company has to ensure that everyone can figure out what the future workplace for him or herself looks like. I also heard firsthand from people that have a great expertise, but this is not what the companies want anymore, because technology is replacing some jobs that exist. So we have to think and stay ahead of the curve, what is currently happening in the workplace. For instance, if you're thinking that a robotic is replacing your job, this is not the truth. There are so many other opportunities to make use of those technologies to be more productive. So we have to remember that we are the one making use of technology, or how the technology can serve us as human beings to be more effective in what we're doing. So having this in mind is pretty essential when navigating through the future of work, and thinking ahead of the digital curve is one major skill for the future. So I'm always telling my students that they don't have to know all the coding languages that exist. But one essential skill in the future of work is as well that you have to embrace technology, understand what exists and how to take advantage of it. How this can help effectively doing your task that you have to do is one strength that you can take off. For instance, everyone has heard about ChatGPT, so it doesn't have to be that you understand how AI functions and everything, but maybe try around, play a little, or reading some news about the metaverse, so you know what is currently happening. You don't have to know everything, but seeing what technological solutions exist is critical. Furthermore, when you're working in a hybrid workplace setting, there's probably the urge to differentiate between work and life. I personally can learn a lot from that, because I'm still answering emails late at night, or sometimes, sit in front of the TV and also see what's currently happening on the computer. But if you're working hybrid, you have to really draw a line and say, hey, this is my workplace, maybe having a home office area at work, at home, and then on the contrary, being in the office on other days and focus on that, leaving at 6 and going home to have personal life. So having the clear work-life balance and setting boundaries is another essential skill in the future workplace. Thirdly, when you're working from home, you're missing social interaction. Depending on what you need, of course, make use of opportunities that the companies are giving you to be in the company and have a team building event, for instance, but also take advantage of the opportunities that there are online. So maybe you don't have to meet in person for a coffee at the coffee machine, but you could meet in a digital sphere, finding, like for example, with an avatar, or also just a Zoom call, talking about different opportunities, having a coffee together and seeing what's happening that day. Using different social interaction is one of the key skills as well in the future of work, because the organizational culture is one major topic that organizations currently have to think about. Leadership is changing, and bringing everyone together is one key element, because people from home might feel left out if they are not integrated in decisions that are been made in an in-person event. So technology is giving a lot of opportunities to enable a flexible workplace for everyone, however he or she would like to have it. So when we think about the future of work, I actually want to encourage you to think what works best for you. I would like you to learn, unlearn, and relearn what you're currently doing, and think about how you can navigate the future of work. Because especially now, the younger generations are the ones that have different values and different interests, and the pandemic showed that it is possible. Because we were forced to work from home, we see that there are technologies and tools that can help us. So we have to kind of take this power that we created in the last couple of years and use it to navigate the potentials and unlock those potentials for the future of work. So when we think about what to do, I encourage you that tomorrow morning when I kick off my yoga class at 9 a.m. before going to work, Think about one thing you want to change in the future of work, in your future of work. One skill you want to learn, one talk you want to have with your boss about working from home, one new thing you want to see and apply to your job, and a tool you want to try to see how this can help you, how this can serve you towards being effective. I know change can be scary, and I'm a professor for change management, so I know what people think and what different burdens we see. But this is the way and how we can create our future together and also path the way for the generations to come. Because I believe the future of work is not a destination, it is a journey. And I think the journey is actually what is making it exciting. Thank you.